It may be summer vacation for kids and teachers, but there is a lot happening in the world of education, especially at the federal level. So let's welcome in the president of New York State's largest teachers union, Melinda from NYSET. Good to see you again, Melinda. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so it's been anticipated we would see major cuts coming to the department and federal funding to local schools across New York from Washington. NYSET is now joining a coalition suing over billions in blocked federal funding. I mean, how much are we actually talking about and would be coming to New York that's being blocked?
Yeah, out of almost $6 billion nationally, New York is slated to lose over $400 million to our 700 school districts. So the amount per district varies, but our highest need rural, urban, and suburban districts are going to lose the most.
If I understand this correctly, this is already promised money, right?
Yes, this money was approved by Congress and voted on back in March. And so to have it, this promise broken and to have districts have to scramble to figure out what they're going to do to fill those gaps at this time is really disappointing.
Yeah, I'm not sure there's a one is better or worse than another necessarily, but is it more devastating possibly to lose this promised money that you've probably already started to earmark than it is for like future funding where you have a little bit of time to try to figure out how to move the parts and pieces around?
Yes, I mean, our school districts, they vote on their budgets in May, they plan ahead, they hire people to start in September. There are a lot of things that have already been set in motion, and this is going to result in canceled classes, canceled programs, and students not getting the services that they need.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you can kind of, maybe generally or specifically, if you can, how is this money, again, this specific money that we're talking about here that's being blocked and the lawsuit is over, where does that generally go to?
So the money is for instructional supports for kids, so literacy coaches, math tutors, things like that. There's a lot of resources that support English language learners and migrant children and their families. There are monies that are dedicated to professional development. All of these, they're called title monies, are being held up.
Held up. I mean, we know the court system does not necessarily move quickly, so is it likely districts are going to have to kind of assume, at least for the time being, we're not going to have this money?
We are hoping that our litigation, that we and here in New York, we have partnered with folks from 10 other states that our litigation will force the release of these funds. But it's too soon to tell if we'll be able to do it in time to prevent the devastation that school districts are expecting. Related
topic, Supreme Court recently clearing the way for sweeping cuts to the Department of Education. Well, that all makes its way through the appeals process. So how and where would we likely see the impact locally of this?
So that's another issue that we are grappling with. The Federal Department of Education, which has been around since 1979 and has an important function in enforcing civil rights protections for kids, preventing discrimination against students with disabilities. The loss of these positions is going to make it so that it's really challenging for the agency to do its job. They had over 4,000 employees when President Trump took office, and now they are already down to 2,200. So it's almost cut in half. And so it begs the question, how are they going to continue to provide the services that Americans have come to expect? And things like, you know, the Office of Federal Student Aid, which provides aid to 10 million students across the country, how are they going to get the service they need with half the staff?
Yeah, I imagine that's pretty long-lasting and far-reaching if this goes through as much as they're planning on gutting things. This is not something you turn around quickly.
Right, but we're hopeful that Congress will step in and reverse a lot of these decisions and these changes. You know, we still have a democracy. We have 3 branches of government, so we're taking action in the courts, but it's never too late for Congress to step up, for the Senate and the House of Representatives to say this is not acceptable, this is not what we voted for.
We will keep a close eye on it. I know you will as well. Melinda from NYSET, thanks for joining us. Good to see you again. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for having me.